This is crooked, you. Are you using the camera again?
Yeah.
What'd you put a new memory card in there?
I just erased all the old...
Why didn't you do that before you started?
Because I didn't think about it. Am I in frame? Am I in frame?
I don't know, are you in frame? You look pretty blurry. Give us an oh my!
Oh my!
What's the level like?
Oh my!
Too loud.
Oh my.
Talk like you were normally going to talk.
Hey guys. Yeah?
Keep going.
How are we doing this evening? Yeah? Levels good?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hey guys, welcome back.
Oh my!
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I thought I'd talk about my 10-year fitness journey. This is an essay that I have written, which you can find on my website, www.dundersnazia.com. The link will be down in the description below. So, my 10-year fitness journey. I just realized this the other day, but yes, I actually did start my fitness journey 10 years ago when I was 13 years old. I'm now 23. Most people get into fitness, I think, as a form of vanity. And by vanity, I mean like coming from a place of insecurity. And it prompts people to want to go about improving themselves. At least it did for me, and I'm sure, from what I understand, many other people in the fitness industry too. And although the intent can come or start from a negative place, it can develop into something quite beautiful because it gives power to the individual that they have the ability to change. And that mindset is sort of the whole premise of fitness, health, and training, is that there are things you can do to actually improve. And that is the act of self-development. And this is how my journey started. Because, yeah, I was a shy and overweight young kid at the ripe old of 13 years old. It was really just wanting to lose that weight that I went about starting my journey, which has taken me 10 years to now being a trainer and coaching other people on their journey. I distinctly remember just being a bit unhappy and insecure in myself and going on YouTube and going down the rabbit hole of, how to get a six-pack. And you go down the rabbit hole and you start finding, really eccentric people on YouTube. And I remember finding my way down into Mike Chang's six-pack shortcuts, which I'm sure many people might know or have stumbled into as well. And it's funny to look back and laugh, the hilarity of the situation, because you just need to Google him and see how funny that actually is. But that being said, for whatever the situation is, it was good content, because it did promote me to go start training, and I'm sure it promoted other people to start training. And I remember just doing a bodyweight circuit in my bedroom. I think it was squats, push-ups, and knees to chest to a timer, and I'll just do that continuously. And that was pretty much how I started. And after that, I remember I kept going down the rabbit hole, and I stumbled on a guy called Elliot Hulse, which was big back in the day, at least for me, and I think some other people my age might remember him. And he was promoting the use of weight training, and obviously I was still quite young, about 13, 14. I didn't have access to a gym, but I did have access to my dad's old dumbbells in the garage, and these things were beaten and battered, and they literally had tape all over them, like grey tape, holding the weights together because the dumbbell couldn't hold the weights. And I remember I could only do pretty much curls at the time, or bench press on some wooden platform that I found at home. But that was sort of my small semblance, or my small start of weight training too. And it just goes to show you that really, if you're looking to start, you can really start anywhere, because this was basically how I started, the most bare version of my training. And my trajectory of life really changed when my mum decided to drag me to a boxing class. At that point, I didn't really want to do group fitness, but, I decided to go with my mum. And I remember walking to the boxing studio and sitting on the exercise bike, and I remember just feeling like I found my small little place in the world. So going from a sort of inactive kid that was just sort of doing bodyweight circuits and the odd weights at home, I ended up training about somewhere between 4 to 8 times a week at this boxing studio between the ages of 13, 14 to 16, 17. And yeah, it became my love and became my passion. So I would do my boxing sessions, and then I started foraying into, running and swimming, and just doing whatever I could to move to try to lose that weight. You see, the problem at that point was that despite all the training I was actually doing, I didn't actually know much about nutrition, and nutrition is probably half of the actual piece of the puzzle. And I really wasn't eating that great. I was still going to family events and just eating like absolute animal, and the weight wasn't really coming off. But I was still training very hard, and I respect my younger self for doing that. Just due to sort of overuse injuries and time, whatever the case was, I was starting to accumulate sort of injuries. I had fractured my ankle, and my wrist. I had a ganglion cyst in my right wrist, so punching started to become a bit of a pain. I decided to sort of taper off the boxing, and I was about the age where I could start to go to a gym. So I found myself at the local gym, the local leisure centre, and I'm so thankful that I started there because I met a whole bunch of people that really influenced the trajectory of my life as well, quite heavily. And I'm thankful to them if they ever see this, for then and for now, for how my life has turned out, because it really did shape who I am. And they guided me in the direction of some really trustworthy information that really shaped my worldviews around training, health, and fitness. They pointed me in the direction of Starting Strength, which I have the book right here, funnily enough, which got me into strength training. And then from then I went down the rabbit hole of listening to people like Barbell Medicine, Jordan Feigenbaum, who worked with Starting Strength, and people like Lane Norton, who taught me about nutrition. And that's where the basis of my sort of training knowledge and training style sort of came from. It was a mix of sort of powerlifting with slight bodybuilding focus for the weak areas. And around that time, my weight started to increase dramatically from the ages from 17 to 18. I don't know what the actual numbers were, but I could have sworn my squat and deadlift went up about 100, 120 kilos, and my bench probably went up about 50 something kilos if I can find some footage to pull up here. It was around this time where the weight really started to drop off for me, so all the years of hard work were paying off, because I actually had learnt about nutrition, and I started to create and foster a caloric deficit, and just maintaining that is how I sort of started to lose that weight. And this sort of followed me out of high school, where I continued to train on a sort of powerlifting focus. And it's funny because as I said, you get into it as a sort of vanity and you have insecurities, and continuing down the line, I mean, you fix sort of some problems, but then you start to see different problems and call it body dysmorphia or harsh self-judgment or self-assessment. I started to look at myself in the mirror and think, oh, like this area is a bit small or this area is a bit small. And that's when you really start to dive into sort of the bodybuilding sort of things, because you start to really want to build up certain areas of yourself. At least that was for me. So I started listening to people like Jeff Nippard, which you can find on Google, who is a great resource, and just started to really try to develop the parts of my body that I thought were lagging, like my arms, shoulders, and back, because I was doing primarily powerlifting stuff, so my legs and chest were quite physically developed at that time. And, the past 5 years of my life has been in the gym environment, and as I said, it's been mostly powerlifting focused, but in these later years, really focusing on the bodybuilding aspect of things, the hypertrophy. And, it's just been a bit of a crazy 10-year journey. I will still continue to try to get stronger and continue to aim more towards my goal physique for the rest of my life, I believe. But, as I said at the start, people begin their journey because of a sense of vanity or insecurity, but it's not even like that anymore. Like, you move past that point, you start to become a person that does it because you enjoy it. Like, it's not a means to an end anymore. It's not doing the thing because you sort of want the outcome. I do the thing for its own sake. And I train now because it makes me feel good. I train now because I like feeling strong. I mean, obviously, I still train because I want to sort of shape my body into a certain way, but I genuinely just feel terrible if I don't train, and I couldn't really imagine a life without it. So although what started as vanity became good in the end, and you start developing healthy behaviors and you become fundamentally a different person. And yeah, it is the process of self-development. So I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, not the same person I was a month ago. And if I hadn't taken those steps, You know, I wouldn't even want to know what life would be like. You know, I sit here in my gym and I think, you know, it was a pretty hectic journey. It was a pretty hectic 10 years, you know, full of a lot of pain, a lot of misery, a lot of self-doubt. But you come through to the other end, and there was also a lot of joy, a lot of good times, and a lot of success too. And the only thing I can say is for anyone getting started is just start. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and don't be afraid to take that first step. Everyone does start somewhere. So yeah, guys, that's my 10-year fitness journey. It's been quite hectic, and looking back now, I'm really grateful for the whole experience. So yeah, if you or anyone you know needs a hand getting started, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, good luck on your journey. Ladies and gents, if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It goes a long way for the channel. Other than that, I hope you have a great day, night, whatever it is in where you are. So yeah, peace.
Oh my!